Alright, I did the Fools Run 10K course today, put on by the Indiana Road Runners. It was a fun time. I got first overall on the 10K. 36:19 something was my overall finish time. I'm pretty sure I PR'd for the 10K today by about 15-20 seconds. I have to look when I get home on the computer what my PR actually is. So I'm kind of happy about that. It was a big crowd. There was probably, well, there was 158 pre-registered. I'm not sure how many signed up day of or how many didn't show. I didn't get to see results. They'll finally be up in probably another 2 or 3 days, so I'd have to look and add them up. Well, we'll just call it 150 people showed up today, so a really good crowd. It's an established race. It has a good reputation. They moved it a couple of years ago from downtown Indiana down, over to Mile Zero on the Ghost Town Trail at Sailor Park. I don't know if it gets a bigger crowd now or not. I'd have to look at the numbers. People seem to be happy with it. I'm happy with it. It was a little cold this morning. Wasn't really too excited to race because of the weather, but got it done. Trying to think here real quick. Waiting at a red light. Yeah, so I was kind of unmotivated this morning when it was cold. I think it was 34 degrees when I pulled in the Sailor Park. So I was like, do I really want to do this? Even though I was going to do it anyhow. We know how that goes. I wasn't sure what I was really going to wear because the cold. I was like, well, the trail is going to be a little bit colder since the sun didn't hit it yet. But I just went with calf sleeves, compression shorts over top. Wore my breakthroughs because I didn't want my Endorphin Pros to get tore up yet on just rail trail. Just wore a thicker long sleeve shirt, normal hat, had a gaiter, and then Blake mints and my lights. That's pretty much all I wore today. That was all I needed. Still got way overheated, more overheated than I thought I was actually going to get. It happens. I mean, maybe if it was a hotter day, like wore less, maybe if I could go shirtless, I would have ran a little faster. If I wore my Endorphin Pros, could have ran a little faster, but I didn't really need to. I think the crowds were fairly split down the middle, give or take 10 for participation wise. The start was a little bit There were still some people, you know, coming to the start line when the race started. So there's a little bit of confusion there, but we took off. Pretty much, yeah, I think I led the whole race. Yeah, from the start. Maybe somebody was beside me for like 5 seconds or so, but I was a little worried because it looked like there was some fast people there at the beginning. I just figured I was going to take off, let things play out how they were going to play. I didn't look back one single time on the way out. I didn't want to get that little extra surge or, you know how you start worrying a little bit, somebody's going to pass you. I didn't want to get that going through my veins. So I didn't even look back to see who was close or somebody was pacing off me or anything like that. I think that helped a lot because it just kept me focused running. Did get a little tired because it is rail trail and it's flat, so there's really no change. So I sort of felt it in my legs. Probably about the 5K turnaround, like about a mile and a half, 1.45. But we go out an even 3 miles because we start at Mile Zero of the Ghost Town Trail. We go out 3 and we come back 3 because we finish 0.2 miles in the Sailor Park on their little walking trail. So nothing really happened on the way out. I just kept going. I tried to take some tangents out along the curves, hug the one side, hug the others. I looked straight ahead and I let the course, I just tried to run straight and not do the S's. I didn't take any water on the way out or way back. A little bit into the race, maybe half a mile or so, I did feel a little bit cold until my body actually warmed up. So that was all right. Then on the way back, I made a turn. I noticed I had 1.8 seconds. Well, what was it? Either way, whatever the math is, I had 1.8 seconds from second place. So divide that by 2, but I did it in my head. I can just remember the 1.8 when I times it times 2. So I passed him by whatever, so it would have been 34 seconds from the time I turned around until I passed second place. So I knew I had 1:08 of a gap going the first 3 miles of the race. So that relieved some stress from the body, since I didn't know, not having looked back on the way out, how close he was. So I figured if everything stayed even and I still ran a good pace on the way back, that would have been like 2 minutes, unless he had a kick or anything like that. It closed the gap a little bit. Not sure who the runner was. I don't remember ever racing him, or at least I didn't recognize him, so I couldn't really tell what he was going to do or capable of. But at least that minute let me de-stress a little bit, which made me very, very happy. So on the way back, I started passing all the 10Kers. You know, it gave me something else to focus on besides just running fast. My pace did slip a little bit, like in the, we'll say mile 4 range. It did get me worried, because I was like, what if it drops too much and they catch up to you? You know, that thing happens. But I think that was mostly because I was paying attention to the 10K going out, you know, giving them the yell and the head nod, waves and stuff like that, a couple of high fives. I wasn't really fully concentrated and worried about my speed. But then I started passing the 5K people, because we met up at the 1.45 section where they turn around at. And then I just wanted to pass as many of them as I could to keep me motivated and going faster and faster. And for some reason at mile 5, I got like a second wind, or my body was just like, you know what? It's time to go. You got all this energy. It was just like a surge of energy came over me at mile 5 after I was slipping at mile 4. Maybe I was just recovering a little bit for this extra surge, but I don't know what it was. But I definitely took it and used it. Then I looked at my watch. I was like, well, heck, I knew my PR, which I believe I have to go home and look, is like, we'll call it 36, somewhere in that range. 36:41 is what I believe it is. And I hit 36:19 today without even trying to go for it. I was just racing today to race. So it probably could have been into the 35 if I actually tried to PR for the course and push more early on and on the way back. I think my split, I know it was around 17 when I hit mile 3. So that was like a 34-minute pace if you doubled it. Well, we'll call it 35 because it's a, you know, 5K or 10K, whatever you want to add on for that 10th or 2, which would have been like another minute. But anyway, I looked at my watch after mile 5 and I was like, you know what? You could hit 36, like a low 36. Well, let's just go. So then all of a sudden I just, you know, used all that energy I had, took off. And I was looking at my watch. I was doing like a 5:25 at the time. And I was like, well, damn. I was like, this is really going to put me close to a PR. So I just ran with it. Did get a little bit tired. Probably about 5.4 or something like that. Was wondering if I was going to be able to maintain it. But I just used the 5K runners to my advantage. And just focused on them, trying to pass them and use them to keep my body going faster and faster and not have to worry about like what my pace was. It was automatically going faster, trying to like pass all them. So that was really nice. And then as I came up under the underpass and hit mile 0 with like 2/10 left, I looked down it. I knew it was going to be close. I almost thought I could be into the 35s. Obviously I didn't hit it. I thought I was going to get there. I tried to push. It just didn't work out to hit into the 30 or break into the 35s, but I'm happy with it. The race went pretty well. Everybody was pretty friendly today. I got to talk to probably about 20, 30 different people. You know, told them some other things I'm doing. saw some friends and such like that. So it's pretty good. No real complaints except for the weather. Wish it would have been about 10-15 degrees warmer. I would have liked it to have been about 45-50 degrees, preferably 50 degrees on rail trail. Would have gave me a really good PR. Let my body felt really nice, and I could have went shirtless and ran freer. But other than that, it went pretty good. I'm heading home now from videotaping a couple race courses on my bike. So check them out when I get them up and this up. Got a nice little plaque. Let's see if I can show while I'm driving. So now I got a 5K and a 10K to match. Guess that's about it. I didn't really want to push today unless I had to. Save myself for the half marathon I'm doing tomorrow, but I'll take the win and I'll take the PR over whatever might happen tomorrow. I'd rather waste it today, not have it tomorrow, than try to save it and then, you know, get blown up tomorrow, or the competition be so rough tomorrow that I should have wasted it today. So pick your poison. I'm happy. I guess that's all that matters.